Welcome, everybody, to the May 25th, 2023 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Here.
Here. Are there any conflicts of interest statements?
No.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of May 18th, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes for the May 18th meeting.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Let's see, bid openings, I see none. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Nobody? Okay, moving on to correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval and electronic signature for the Indiana Department of Transportation, DES number 1500416, for the time extension for the Calumet-Conkey Street Bridge submitted for approval.
Yes, this is just approval to get the signatures, and that's going to be forthcoming with the time extension. The time extension is used or needed for, they're cleaning up a few issues with NDOT, so I would recommend approval.
Yeah, they actually sent me the signature yesterday, Mark.
Oh, okay.
So it's already on my email, so.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Motion to approve engineering's request for the electronic signature from NDOT, approval of the time extension.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter B, correspondence received from Reith Riley requesting road closure of Homan Avenue between Sibley Street and Russell Street beginning June 1st, 2023 through August 11th, 2023 for the Homan Avenue reconstruction project.
Yes, this is the continuation of the project, to close that portion so they can get the work done, like the middle center parking lanes and so forth. So I would recommend approval.
Okay.
Though, I guess my concern is going to be how are we handling the businesses between those locations and access to the businesses and notification to the businesses for the closure. We just had a dentist show up at Mayor's Night Out with some significant concerns currently. And this is total closure of Homan Avenue between Sibley and Russell.
That's my understanding, yes.
So I'd like to hear from the engineering department probably next Thursday if we could.
Okay.
A plan regarding notification of businesses and access to those businesses and whether or not the whole stretch has to be closed the entire time or whether it can be done in phases. Like, for example, Sibley to Rimbach to Munich Court. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering if we could go phased in.
Next Thursday is the first, though, Cal.
Which is,
Next Thursday is the first when they want to close.
That's the day they want to start, so.
well, yeah,
Can we delay them, Mark? Can we
Yes,
delay them to the
we can
2nd?
delay 'em.
To June 2nd?
Yes,
yeah,
I don't have a
Mark,
problem
I'd
with
like
that.
you, Dean, to let the board know how we're going to notify. You know, because the last thing I want is everybody all of a sudden on June 1st not to know this is happening. Like there's a letter going out from engineering to business,
Sure.
stuff like that.
So do we need to deny this request first because it's June 1st, or what do we need to do?
Instead of staff.
I'd say defer it so we can get a.
Okay.
I just don't want to have any. I just don't want to have happen what happened, you know, over last week with the railroad tracks, like where we didn't get good notice out.
Right.
I want to make sure we're notifying folks.
Okay.
And you know, Mark, if you and Dean want to let the law department know, you know, over the weekend, tomorrow or Tuesday or whatever, we'll get this moving on Thursday. I just want to make sure we have a plan
Sure.
in place.
This was actually put on by Dean, and I really didn't know about it too much, so.
Okay. I just don't want, you know, we take action here and then if we aren't notified.
Yep.
Motion to defer the decision regarding the street closings until after our next board meeting on June 1st, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to letter C, correspondence received from NIPSCO requesting to close road and sidewalk access to the Homan Avenue Bridge starting May 30th, 2023 through June 2nd, 2023 to string electrical wire across the bridge.
This would be basically a total closure of the bridge, and it's just during work hours, during the day. So they are still working on relocation for the Westlake Corridor project, and they're going to be stringing wires over Homan Avenue, so for the safety, they wanted to shut it down. And there is a detour we have set up.
So are they going to stop traffic southbound at Michigan, I assume?
Yes.
And then where are they going to stop at Southbound, or northbound? Do you know?
That would be Sibley,
Sibley?
yes.
Are they unable to do it overnight? Is this the daytime?
They're going to be,
Yeah.
it's going to be a really big project during the day, stringing them. The poles are probably going to be 110 feet high.
Are they gonna open it and finish after work hours? Is that?
Yes.
So it's just during the day?
The day, work
Yeah,
hours.
It doesn't have the hours clearly defined, but if you're sure of that part, it'll open up
Yes.
after the day?
Yes.
Like, is it gonna be like after morning rush and then close before evening rush, or, you know, I'm just,
Yes, to make it easier than this past week.
Good? You good, Kev?
yeah, as long as we can get the hours defined by
Yeah,
NIPSCO, and they understand that we should minimize the impact of traffic.
Well, you want us to include that in the,
Yeah, I think approve it, pending, conditioned upon making sure. we
gotcha,
get the hours.
okay.
Motion to approve
Thank
the
you.
correspondence from NIPSCO regarding the street closures pending notification of the times and the length of the closure.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, correspondence received from Ron Novak requesting approval of the proposed license agreement with Duval Village Incorporated and its representative Enviroforensics LLC to allow access to city property near 837 Hoffman Street to perform additional environmental sampling. Good morning, Ron.
This is a continuation for a number of years in regards to monitoring these former dry cleaners that leaked into the soil. So to determine the extent of contamination, they have to monitor the site and adjacent to it. So it's on city property. We need to find out that it's being reduced over a period of time. So this is just a continuation and a requirement by IDEM that they monitor this and likely be here a few years in the future to continue this particular operation. I recommend approval so we get this thing moving and hopefully on the tax rolls.
Thank you.
Motion to approve Mr. Novak's request as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter E, correspondence received from Madison Hayes, 6820 Arkansas Avenue, requesting children at play signs near the intersection of Martha and Arkansas due to the increased traffic due to the Kennedy Avenue construction. Forward this to engineering. Okay.
Motion to forward this matter, 6820 Arkansas, to engineering for review.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter F, correspondence received from Amanda Gamino requesting street closure on Monroe from 170th Street to the alley before 169th Street on May 27th, 2023, from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. with signatures attached. She's got quite a few. No.
Motion to approve Ms. Gamino's request for May 27, 2023, from the hours of 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter G, correspondence received from Leon Wolick requesting permission for Troy Church to make an exhibition jump into the event at Wolf Lake Memorial Park at the opening ceremonies for the triathlon held on June 4th, 2023.
It's my understanding that Mr. Button deferred this or held it back. Do you want it on?
No, the person's asking it.
Is there insurance in place and everything?
Yeah, he's got a certificate of insurance if you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mr. Button, he tried to bring it to our attention first and then decided he shouldn't do that.
Yes, the insurance supposedly, and I know somewhat about this, but the insurance, there's only a few places in the country that will give insurance for jumping out of a plane. So,
I
obviously
can
reasons.
understand why.
So, an insurance company in Mississippi is one of the few, and he's going to get a policy or has a policy from that particular place to jump. I guess it's different jumping in different areas. His site, he has insurance to cover his site where he trains jumpers, but to go outside, they need a separate policy.
Yeah, I was just making sure that the city was named as an additional insurer, and they are as a port authority, so looks good to me.
Okay,
Good
Mo-
luck.
yep.
Motion to approve Mr. Wolick's request for the jump on June 4th, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter H, correspondence received from Golden Cuts Barber Shop, 173rd and Columbia, requesting permission to temporarily use curbside parking in front of the building for approximately 2 to 3 months in order to construct a parking lot for the business.
Yes, I would like to defer this. This came in yesterday, or the day before I seen it, and Dean's aware of it, and he had some concerns about the zoning and parking, business parking in that particular area. So I would defer it to next week.
Okay.
Motion to defer
Thank you.
the request from Golden Cuts Barber Shop until the June 1st meeting.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to letter I, correspondence received from Cleona Henderson, Gift of Hope Organ and Tissue Donor Network, requesting to place banners on street poles on Holman Avenue in front of Wound Healing Institute, Rental Dialysis Center, Medical Arts Center, and on Douglas Street in front of DaVita Dialysis to celebrate the National Minority Donor Awareness Month during the month of August. That was a lot of stuff to say.
Is there a policy on that?
Banners on street poles, what's your thoughts on that, Mr. Smith?
I don't have, so I guess I would refer it to Public Works to make sure that. And engineering. And engineering, okay, to make sure that they're not gonna impact traffic or anything like that when they're on the sides. But I would say the addition, I'd say you wanna check with them first. And generally, we don't allow, private entities to put banners on street poles.
Right.
So that's what I would say, number one. So, I mean, I guess my initial thought is to deny it, because there's city poles and we don't allow private entities. If they want to put a banner up somewhere that they, on their property or on their building or whatever, I don't have a problem. Does it say just on street poles?
Banners on street poles, yes, in front of these different businesses.
I mean, it sounds like a great organization, and obviously they're doing great work, Organ and Tissue Donor Network, but I don't think we generally allow private entities to put on street poles. Does anybody know of it? Mark? Yeah,
I have not seen them in the past, and the banners, if they are put up, I know the city puts them up, they have slits in there to allow the wind to go through them. So it's not like a sale, creating a sale.
I mean, I think the last time I remember doing this is when we had the NFL draft at City Hall, but that was a city event. Or we had it at Sports Book Center. So, it's the month of August, I guess what I would do first is, to me, I think it's a denial because it's a private entity on city property.
We agree, that's what we were thinking, but just wanted to see what your thoughts were first.
That's where I'm at on it. I mean, I'd be happy to talk to Ms. Henderson and explain that to her. I'll call her.
Are you part of it, sir?
No, I'm not, but can I make a statement or
At
not?
public comment, you can, unless you're here for that.
No, I am not here.
Okay. Then we're good. Just, you wanna maybe defer it for a couple weeks or something?
We could defer it, and I'll be happy to talk to her and explain what's going on. And
Okay.
if she has other information that may, change my current position, I'm happy to listen.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not here the 8th, so June 15th, okay?
We could do it June 1st.
June 1st next week? Okay, good,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Motion to set the status on the request from Cleona Henderson for June 1st, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter J, correspondence received requesting a rental registration hearing.
Motion to set the rental registration hearing for June 15th, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 8, matters from board members, either of you?
I do have something that was handed to us this morning. A resident, Rachel Adam, living at 1918 Atchison, is requesting residential parking signs on her block. There's some on the block, but not any in front of her home. And this is due to the high traffic from the Knights of Columbus and the business district. I guess we'll just defer it to,
I'm gonna see if he's checking on something. I don't know if he's checking on something.
Yep.
Should we just forward that to engineering?
Yes.
Okay.
okay, motion to refer this matter to engineering for review.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, any other matters? No? Okay, moving on to new business. Letter A, memorandum of understanding governing the usage of security cameras between the Hammond Police Department and Homestead Enterprise Housing submitted for approval.
This agreement should be signed by the Housing Department, and it requests its approval as presented. It allows usage by the Police Department of certain security cameras on those properties.
Okay,
Motion to approve the MOU between the Hammond Police Department and Homestead Enterprise as submitted.
I second.
all in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter B, order to rescind and release order to demolish for the property located at 1429 Truman Avenue submitted for approval.
Yes, I saw the pictures of this. It's a great success story, so we like to always thank the people that rehabbed it. Mr. Luter forwarded those properties to me. It's a house that was saved off the demolition list, and it looks to be totally rehabbed, so we'd request the order to rescind to be approved as presented.
Motion to approve the order to rescind and release the demolition for 1429 Truman.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter C, right-of-way permits, 3 of them, received from Engineering Department, submitted for approval.
The two major ones are from Passion for the Westlake, one being Conkey Street for a 4-day closure, starting on 5/30 and opening on 6/2. And the second one is Kenwood Street, closing on 6/5, opening 6/9. This is to put the rail track through. It's a quick procedure, so I would recommend approval.
So, do they show hours on there, Mark? You know, or-
They do not.
Last week, the ones that came through, they said 3 or 4 hours and ended up being most of the day.
That was North Fork Southern. This is Passion, so they work during the normal work hours.
I would just, if we can put notices up, like, I don't know, I know the PD's got that one sign.
Yeah.
But it'd be great to have, and I was talking to Mr. Button about this. When we have these closures, I think it's important, well, first of all, for PD to know, fire department to know, because I think, I don't know, Chief Smith said there was an issue on some of those this week that you guys didn't even know, right? Okay, so I think it's really, we need to let either the contractor or the railroad or whoever say, you need to put up notices at these crossings in advance and say, this crossing will be closed on this date to this date, on this time to this time, because at the end of the day, they think we're gonna, it falls on us to give notice, and the city always gets blamed because even though it's the railroad doing the work, right? So I think it's important for the engineering department to notify the contractor and say, okay, it was approved, you need to put sandwich signs out there to say this, or whatever signs you want, but they need to be notified. These crossing is going to be closed on this date to this date, or from this date to this time to this time, whatever. I think that's important.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a typical procedure they do because they're following the federal guidelines with this project, and there is a detour set up for each of these streets. So
I understand the detour issue, and they put the detour signs up, but I'm talking about like just a notification sign.
notification boards typically put up 10 days prior to it being closed.
And they weren't last week, because the
But
ones
that
from last week,
was North Fork Southern.
and they needed to put notification signs up too. It's like, what's the date on this? Is it 10 days already?
Start 5/26, completion 5/30, 4 days, 5 days?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'll make sure they'll have signage up.
Today,
to
right,
notify them.
yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Please, it
They
just
don't
makes it
already.
easier on everybody.
Yes.
Because like Kevin said, we get blamed. The city does, or the police department does, or
I
whatever.
do
so-
understand that, and
Okay.
it was a debacle this past week.
It was, and a lot of it had to do with lack of notice. So make sure Passion knows to get those signs up like today, so that people know it's gonna be closed.
Yes, I'll definitely give them a call when I get out of here.
I know it's not your fault.
Motion to approve the right-of-way permits received from engineering contingent upon notification being placed for the residents, as well as notification for the police and fire department.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, First Amendment to the 2006 purchase agreement between Village of Lansing, Illinois, and City of Hammond, submitted for approval.
Happy to announce to the board that this amendment is one between the city and Lansing for distribution of water. Lansing has been a customer for decades, and this solidifies that relationship. I can also report to the board that this brings Lansing into line with other communities that we sell water to in Illinois, and that means a lot more money for the city of Hammond, so I'd request its approval as presented, and I'd ask Linda to make sure the copies get back to Ms. Levinson and Mr. McLaughlin at the Waterworks.
Okay.
Okay, motion to approve the First Amendment to the 2006 purchase agreement between Lansing and the city of Hammond as submitted.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, Robertsdale access agreements received from 1312 121st Street, 1210 121st Street, 1218 121st Street, 1220 121st Street, 1226 121st Street, 1234 121st Street, 1238 121st Street, 1240 121st Street, 1242 121st Street, 1250 121st Street, 1316 121st Street, and 1315 121st Street submitted for approval.
Wow, that's a mouthful. All right. Good job, though.
Thanks, thanks.
So, as the board knows, this is the beginning of Phase 3 of the Robertsdale lead remediation. These are the property owners that are allowing access by the city to do that work, so I'd request their approval as presented.
Okay. Motion to approve the Robertsdale access agreements as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter F, garage sale permit submitted for approval. 6. They're good. Yeah.
Motion to approve the garage sale permits as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter G, resolution and intergovernmental agreement with Hammond Redevelopment Commission to transfer property located at 5506 Alice.
Another Jacob Square property that we're transferring to redevelopment so that we can proceed with that RFP and allow for development there.
Perfect.
Okay. Motion to approve the resolution and intergovernmental agreement regarding 5506 Alice.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to old business, letter A, status for 1806 Brown Street. It's okay.
Good morning, how are you?
Good.
All right, 1806 Brown. I believe you are Mr. Strozovsky, sorry. Mr. Strozovsky appeared on Zoom last time, and I think he was indicating that he might be selling the place. No? Didn't sell? Go
Yes,
ahead.
okay, so since the last Zoom meeting,
Which was May 11th, by the way.
approximately maybe 3 weeks later, the county did issue me the deed,
Nice.
okay? In between that time, I did sell the property to 1806 Avenue LLC, and they're present here today, if they want to step up.
1806, what was the name of it?
1806 Avenue LLC. Or Brown, I'm sorry, Brown, 1806 Brown. They have also, they did bring the deed, because the deed is transferred to their name.
Okay.
They did hire attorney Bob Golding, who's out of Dyer,
I know Bob.
to perform the eviction. They do have an eviction hearing set. I don't know what that date is,
June 15th, all right, that's great news.
to evict the people out of the house.
Okay.
One more thing, I did file for inspection.
Right.
Which I want to assign to 1806 Avenue.
Mr. Luder? Chris? Oh, there you are, hiding behind you. Great.
So I could just assign it to them. And
Consider
if,
to sign.
so I think I'm done here. And if you want to get their information.
We do.
To then move forward. And just wanted to say, I want to thank the city of Hammond for working with me, and hopefully we save this property, which I do believe they will do, and keep that property on the tax roll. So I appreciate
No,
your,
thank you for.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Tax sale, the tax
I
sale
appreciate the
process.
cooperation.
Yep, absolutely. So why don't we get the new owners up here, and they can introduce themselves to the board, if you could just tell us.
Good morning.
who you are.
Good morning.
This is Ivana Dobras, and I'm Miroljub Dobras, or Mickey for short. She is the owner of the LLC. I will be the point of contact. We plan on doing a full rehab and turning it into a rental. We don't have a timeline yet because we don't know how long the eviction will take. It is in the tax court. The eviction is in the tax court, I believe.
Probably not. It's probably I doubt that the eviction, maybe it is, we'll get from Bob, but there's no such thing as a tax court. Maybe you're saying that where the tax,
That's what I'm thinking.
where the tax sale was, maybe? Yeah.
He filed it there because they were.
Writ of assistance, I believe.
Oh, okay, you called it writ of assistance?
Yeah.
Great, even better. So I'll get a hold of Bob, Mr. Golding, and discuss with him what the status is. If it's set for June 15th, I'm hoping that they issue that writ at that point. If they do issue the writ, then that'll allow the police department or sheriff to help them get the tenant out, or not even a tenant, squatter out. And so all I need to do is get these folks' contact information, and I'd like to set up for status maybe a week after the eviction hearing, or the writ hearing, so maybe sometime in late June.
The 22nd or the 29th?
22nd works for me if it works for these folks.
22nd of.
June? So the hearing's June 15th.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you were going to miss one in June?
Yes, not
Or the 22nd's good?
Good for me.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to set the status for 1806 Brown for June 22nd, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
I do have one question. I don't know who the appropriate party is to ask, but once we evict them, would it be appropriate to clean it out first and then schedule the inspection?
Yes, we would
Right?
prefer that.
Yes,
That way, we have a better understanding of what's going on.
it makes it easier for
Okay,
them
just
when
so
they're
we-
inspecting also.
Okay.
So, yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yes.
Okay, letter B, status for 4440 Torrance Avenue.
Based on my discussion with Mr. Luter, he's indicated that it can come off the demolition list, so Linda, we'll just have to get an order to rescind up here next week. Good? Yeah.
Status for-
So, no action needed by the board.
No action needed. Okay. Moving on to number 11, rental registration hearings. The first one is 4738 Calumet Avenue.
Want to give you a disclaimer to everybody now.
Yeah. Before we get started, I just want to make a general announcement that if you wish to, at the end of today's meeting, you can take a copy that she's going to give you downstairs to register. You can do that. And number two, everybody knows that you have from January 1st to April 15th to register. That's something else I want to make clear. And then also that we normally only grant one waiver. So keep that in mind when you come before us, okay? Good morning, how are you?
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, I forgot. I have 4 properties, and I forgot.
You forgot just this one or the other, all
No,
four?
all 4 of them.
All four, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay,
640, 141st, and 2 on 4307 Baltimore.
okay.
Yes, so he owns this property and then the next 2 that are on the agenda, we can deal with one at a time. So we have, them listed as the only owner of record. It's a single-family home. We're here for 2023 and previously registered on time.
Yeah, do you want me to read off the other two? Are the other ones similar?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to handle A, B, and C, 4738 Calumet Avenue, 640 141st, and 4307 Baltimore. The other two are the same situation, Nick?
Correct. Yeah, the 141st is a single-family home, and then,
Baltimore's a 2-unit.
Baltimore's a 2-unit.
Okay. Let me get these signed real quick. What's today, May 25th?
You just forgot this time around. Okay.
Okay, I'm good, T.
Okay. Motion to waive the late fees for 4738 Calumet, 640 141st Street, 4307 Baltimore, 2 units for 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. If you want to wait, you can register at the end of today's meeting if you want to.
Today?
Today, yeah. She'll give you a copy of this. You take it downstairs
Okay.
and you can register.
All right, thank
if you wish to. Okay. Okay, moving on to letter D, 6639 Alexander Avenue. Thank you.
Hi, I'm representing McCormick Real Estate for Jane Vernalia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you please just let us know what happened, why you missed it?
Yes, all the other ones that we manage in Hammond were registered, but that one fell through the cracks, so that one was not registered. But our other ones were. We just failed to do that one.
So it looks like we have the owner listed since May 13th of '21. This is a 2-unit property, and we're here for 2022. So it looks like they registered the first year and then, missed 2022. Realized it came in this year, registered for 23 and filed for the appeal. So there's no other issues of note on the property address.
Okay, yep.
A motion to waive the late fee for 6639 Alexander on the 2 units.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to letter E, 6726 Ohio Avenue. 6726 Ohio Avenue. Let me get their name. Mr. Bell?
So this one is, well, there's, the last time it was registered was in 2014, and then the owner submitted an affidavit in 2015 to state that he was occupying the property. So I would imagine we're here for 2016 through 2023, so I would recommend, based on the failure to appear, that the board deny the appeal of the late fee and then forward this property to Smith Sursick to begin collection.
Okay.
Motion to deny the waiver of the late fee on 6726 Ohio and to forward to Smith Sursick for collection.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter F, 7746 Columbia Avenue.
Yeah, I got it.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, how you doing today?
Good, good.
This is more my fault than my mother's.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about this registration thing. And her tenant had died in November, and she planned on selling the house. But then her daughter decided she wanted to rent the house, so my mom allowed that. And I guess she just forgot about it, and I didn't know you had to have these permits. She's older in age, and her memory's not as good as it used to be.
That was in November of what year? You said that?
Last year.
Last year, 22.
So we have Ms. Kiefer listed as the owner since June of 2001. This is a single-family home. We're here for 2022 and 23. And the property's been registered on time from 2008 all the way through 21. So no other issues to report on that property.
Oh, yeah, it's okay, Mom.
We got you, Bob.
Yep, you ready? We're good, yeah.
Motion to waive the late fee for 7746 Columbia.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Wait, Mom.
Sir, you can wait, after the meeting, you can
Yeah, I
register,
will.
okay? Okay, thank you.
Will you be handling this for her from
Yeah.
now on? Okay.
Okay, letter G, 1151 through 1161 Logan Street. There's six properties, it looks like, or 6 apartments.
Yeah, three parcels, each one is going to be
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am. What happened? What did you miss?
He forgot about it.
Okay,
So each property is listed as a 2-unit. We have 1151 through 53 Logan, 1155 through 57 Logan, 1159 through 61 Logan. We're here for 2023. The property would qualify as a rental unit community, so only a singular $5 fee would apply to this property since they're contagious to each other. However, we would need a rental registration form submitted for each separate parcel, but they would just be combined under a singular payment of $5. So this is the first time that they've been late. It's a new owner. It looks like in 2021 is when they took over. It was registered for 21, then we missed are registered for 22 and then missed 23. That's why we're here today.
Okay. Did you understand the need for the registration for each? Okay.
Okay, we good?
Yep.
Motion to waive the late fee for 1151 through 1161 Logan Street as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Letter H, 630 Thornton Street. Looks like there's 4 of them.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Could you give us your name, please?
Yes, my name is Frank Cilio.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what, I'm sorry, I completely forgot. I think this is my first offense. I'm so sorry about that.
Okay.
All right, so the property address, 630 through 34 Thornton. We have listed as the owner since 2016 for settlement statement. Now, there is a homestead tax exemption that's being claimed on the property, so we would request that, you complete the highlighted sections and then, turn that back into us.
Okay.
At his earliest convenience, he was listed as occupying one of the units on the rental registrations from 2017 through 2020. In 2020, he did appear before the board and received a waiver of the late fee. It was through that, the recommendation to waive late fee due to COVID-19. There's a copy of the agreement that was signed. You recognize from that date, 11/12/2020? So this is a copy of that agreement that was processed for 2020 during that time frame, the pandemic. Now, after 2020, so 2021 and then 2022, the owner updated his address to a 4851 Adams Street in Gary. Now, my concern is that address comes back under the ownership of a land trust with an address that is then goes to the United States Postal Service. So I'm not sure what we would, request that he submit like an address that, where his home address would be. Do you live at that property on
Yes, I do, yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Okay, and then so the Postal Service is the owner of the property?
No, that's got to be some kind of mistake. The owner of the property is under RFC Property Investments.
So Lake County has the property listed under Lorick Land Conservation Trust with their address located at 1070 South Calumet Road, Chesterton, Indiana, which comes back to the United States Postal Service.
That address is my attorney's address. I don't know how that got mixed up.
I would just make sure that you call Lake County, because as of right now, like, you're not being assessed any taxes on that Adams Street. So that's a concern.
Well, she still owns that property.
Who's she?
The Christian Lorick. She still owns that, the land, the trust is in her name.
So you rent from them?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So that was just our concern. I wanted to make sure we had a valid address for any notifications or any notices that need to be sent out. So if his home address is Adams Street, where he's a tenant in that property, then that's fine.
I honestly don't know how the Postal Service got involved. I know the Chesterton address
Yeah,
is.
see, that's Chesterton?
Yeah, that's my attorney's address. That's his office.
Well, that's who it's a USPS distribution center.
I don't know how that happened. My attorney took care of all of that, so.
I would just maybe look into it, because,
Okay. Yeah, I definitely, I didn't know that.
Counties that come back on you for taxes.
Yeah, I rent from there. I don't own that property.
Okay, I will tell you, sir, I started off today by saying we usually only grant a waiver one time.
Yeah.
Because of COVID year, I know that was a hard year for everybody.
Yes.
I think we're inclined to waive it again, but I can assure you that if you come before us again, it won't be waived.
It won't happen
So I'm just
again.
making sure we're clear. You have
Yeah.
from January 1st to April 15th. Make sure you do
And I
that every year.
didn't know that we had until
Okay.
from January. This won't happen again.
Okay, I hope not.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Maybe since you filled that out, the highlight section.
Motion to waive the late fee for 630
Okay.
630 to 634 Thornton Street, with the condition that you fill out the paperwork to remove the homestead exemption.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to letter I, 264 Florence. Looks like there's two.
Just before we move forward with this one, I would just request that the board, this property address did appear on last week's agenda by mistake, and the appeal was denied and late fee assessed. So I would just request that the board rescind last week's decision against this property address, because there was an email that was sent where the owner was initially scheduled to appear, and then he requested this date today be set for his property, and that email was sent in April. So it was mistakenly appeared on last week's agenda. So I just request that findings and decision be rescinded from last week so that we could rehear the property today.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah. Sir, do you understand everything he said?
I think I did.
You're good- you're good with it?
The court dated it back a few times. I
Okay,
understand, yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going down $1,000. I'm sure he's probably
Thank
pretty
you very
happy,
much.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you for your time, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, motion to waive the late fee for 264 Florence due to the misunderstanding or miscommunication from last week's meeting.
And it's a 2-unit, and we're just here for 2023.
Okay. You want to make a motion to waive the late fee? Is that what you want us to do on this one? Yeah, you did, okay.
Oh, second, I'm sorry.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else, Nick? You good? Okay, number 12, the meeting's open to the public. Anybody like to speak?
I would like to say something.
Okay.
I want to go back to this I on the correspondence for the donors, yes. It's a great organization, okay? I've got a motorcycle license. I currently don't have a motorcycle. I don't object to the idea, but I don't think the city should be allowing private entities to be putting things on your poles, you know? Because then if you do it for one, you're gonna get into the point where anyone that asks you, you have to do it for them. I would prefer if this entity would put something more permanent on their property, because I don't think donor things should be like a weekly or monthly, you know, we have a special week. I don't like that.
We understand, sir, and we have that same feeling, so it's going to get handled.
Okay,
Trust me.
I just wanted to give my 2 cents.
No, I understand. I appreciate it.
You know.
Okay.
I thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, ma'am.
I have some handouts, if somebody, can I bring these to you?
What are they for?
1806 Brown.
Guys, Nick, somebody?
Okay, thank you. Would you like one for the record, please? I live directly behind this property. My name is Margaret Berryman. I live at 1829 Warwick, and I strongly object to this property not being demolished and being allowed to be rehabbed. The roof has been leaking for the last 2 decades. From my understanding, there's nothing left in the upstairs. The water has been leaking down into the main floor. There's vermin that routinely come into my basement from that property. The occupants that are there, if you look at the last page, they're now living in a tent outside because there's no electricity. NIPSCO cut wires to that house, and there's no water. So where are these gentlemen using the bathroom?
Well, ma'am, I understand, but that decision hasn't been made yet. There still has to be an inspection of the home to see if it's even able to be, rehabilitated.
What
So
I don't understand is why it was even allowed to be sold. Why did the redevelopment commission not pick this up and say, okay, this is enough, we're gonna buy this as a city, have it demolished and then sell the property for rehab, or for redevelopment. And I know other jurisdictions handle this that way, instead of allowing this blight to continue. I've been looking out my bedroom window for the last 6 years at this.
And I apologize for that, but again, I would say the cities, we always want to see houses rehabilitated if we
But
can.
it's beyond that. Look at those.
We don't know that yet, though.
I do.
Well, you might, I mean, we don't know that. Until we know that, we're not going to make a decision, so, go ahead, Kelly.
The property is in pretty tough shape, there's no doubt about it. You're absolutely correct, President, is we cannot determine what is salvageable and what isn't until we actually do the inspection. Once we get the eviction process, as you heard, they're in that process now. Once they get the people removed and we get the interior cleaned out, we'll be able to do that inspection to determine. Pretty much anything can be saved if you throw enough money at it. Are they going to do that or not? That's what we have to find out. We can't get in between people selling out properties, as much as I'd like to stop it sometimes. It's not the city's place to prohibit sales.
Okay.
And it went on tax sale, so legally, we have to abide by the county's process to afford them the opportunity to go through that, which is a state statute. So we were prepared, in essence, to have the property gone through the order to repair demolish process. There is a purchaser from the tax sale. There's a redemption period that has to be provided for the previous owner to attempt to redeem the property, and then the deed was transferred. So we're at the point now where an inspection is going to get done to determine which way this property goes. We have received multiple complaints on the conditions of it. I was the first district inspector since 2012 before taking over the code enforcement department, and it was a problem then. So hopefully the owners now they'll sign a rehabilitation agreement and make the necessary repairs to have a brand new property there, which will increase the value of the entire neighborhood.
Okay, brand new property, meaning it'll be demolished and they'll rebuild?
They'll gut it and remodel it, everything in current code, which is what the order to repair demolish process requires.
And what about the tenants or the people living in a tent in the yard?
That hearing was June 15th to evict them. And once they're evicted, that's when we'll do the inspection.
So can the health department be contacted regarding them living there without power or water? Where are they defecating?
I don't know the answer to that.
I understand that. This is a rhetorical.
No, I understand that also, but all we're saying is we understand your objection and your concerns. As of today, we don't have an answer until we inspect the house. There's process here, and we have to follow it. And if they can rehabilitate it and they can afford it, we'll give them that opportunity. If they can't, then it'll be torn down. I mean, I don't know we can't really tell you anything today.
There's
we don't
been
know.
no windows in the upstairs for the last 5 years.
I'm aware, ma'am. And like I said, I understand your heartache and your pain right now, but we can't do anything until we do follow the process. We just can't.
If she does notice, like them, conducting themselves in a manner which is, essentially illegal, that she can contact the police department, and then they can send someone out to put a stop to that activity.
I will tell you that. I'm the assistant police chief. If you ever see them using the bathroom outside, feel free to call us, and I will make sure we respond to that immediately. I'm not going to tolerate that.
Otherwise, after the eviction, Lake County Sheriff will come in and remove them from the property.
Yes.
And I will add in, if the fine lady would like, I will give you my card, and I would be happy to show her some of the success stories we've had with houses that were in that shape and even worse.
I've flipped houses. This house is beyond it.
As far as success we have several houses, hundreds of houses that have been rehabilitated from that condition or worse.
We'll get there.
It's a point of diminished returns, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the public like to speak?
Stop hobby horsing around.
Yep, hobby horsing around.
Good morning.
Good morning, Councilman.
Okay, yesterday there was a tied up of traffic and Calumet, well, actually from Columbia all the way west to Hammond Avenue. I got the first call at 3 o'clock, so I don't know what time it started or how long it lasted after that. But I was trying to go north on Calumet, and it took me an hour to get from Calumet to Hammond because that was the only exit. And I understand Norfolk and Southern also had a train blocking. I don't know how far it went, but from Hammond all the way down, I could see maybe to Columbia. And according to Mark, all the intersections, north and south, except for Calumet and Holman were open, but Calumet was blocked because of the train. I understand they did that without permission, blocking those intersections with barricades and all that, and I just don't know how that happened. People, well, it went over 2 hours, and there was no way to get through.
It was about 2.5 hours, Councilman, altogether.
I don't know how long it went, but at least 2 hours that I know of. So, is there an explanation for that?
I mean, I don't have one, and I wish we could tell you we could do something with that situation, but as you know, a lot of times we don't have any power over that. We can't even write them tickets anymore for blocking the intersection with a train. So.
Well, they should be, they're supposed to be able to get permission from you guys, from this board, to block those intersections and to block them all. From Columbia was blocked. Like I said, everything was blocked except Calumet and the Holman Avenue. And nobody working on the site, and either one of them that I saw.
Just to give you some further information on that, sir, they were dropping new rails for a program that they're doing in August. Myself and the fire department, PIO was out there. We found out what actually they were doing. And as you heard earlier in the meeting, that we're going to, Mr. Smith even commented that we were going to do a better job of communicating it to our public officials and to our first responders so everybody's aware of it and try to get it out to the public earlier.
Yeah, there's no way first responders were able to get through that either, so.
Me being one and Jeff being the other one,
Yeah.
it was a nightmare, but we're aware of it, sir, and we're on it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And when they do it in August, I would request them to come in here to the board and they can explain what they're doing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the public like to speak? Okay. Chris, you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.